Hey guys, Darkovika here, and this is a really weird video to make because I can't really master my emotions on this. This weekend, something really horrible happened to me, and those of you who follow me on Twitter and saw the YouTube community post, you probably already know what I'm going to talk about. I cannot stand those YouTube prank videos, and frankly, I think a lot of them are going way too far. And I can say this because I got attacked by someone for a YouTube prank video. And I say attacked because that's what it was. I was verbally attacked. Brent and I, for those of you who don't know, Brent is my fiance. We were walking to the movies to see It Too with my matron of honor and their husband. And as we were walking, a man suddenly walks up to me and says, Madison, what are you doing here? And I was very confused because I know a lot of people, and sometimes, you know, people do come up to me and they recognize me from high school or whatever, and they say my name wrong. And so at first I thought, okay, maybe I do know this person. And then I quickly realized within like 2 seconds that no, I did not know this person. And I was so upset because the prank that they were doing was that I was cheating on them with Brent. And he starts calling me Madison and saying, how could you do this to me on my birthday? And I swear to you, those were the words. He's screaming at me, Madison, how could you? Madison, who's this guy? And it was the worst experience of my entire life. Normally, I am a very feisty person. I would have, in a normal state of mind, probably snapped at him and shouted back. But every time I tried to speak, I couldn't breathe. And the whole experience lasted maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute. But my anxiety as of late has been really, really bad, and it does not take much to set it off. And I have had really bad breathing problems that mimic asthma, which I recognize because I had asthma as a child, which is they're just symptoms of anxiety. And so as this was occurring, all I could do was just stand there and be horrified and so humiliated because we were in a really, really populated area and everyone was looking, and it was the worst experience of my entire life. And I was so upset and I couldn't say anything. I tried to say, please stop, and he just kept screaming over me and acting like he knew me. And Brent took one look at my face and realized that no, I did not know this person. And he put himself in between me and the guy and started screaming, you know, get away from her. Don't go near her. F off. And because he realized that I was very upset. And thank God that I am exceptionally lucky to have a very confident relationship, because we didn't even know we were being filmed. Like, there was no time to really process what was going on, except that obviously this person had either very wrongly mistook me for someone else, which was very unlikely, or that I was being, someone was playing a very cruel trick on a random person that they did not know. And then we heard someone shout, cut, and it was like the worst thing to think that I was being filmed while I was so upset and someone was screaming that at me in the middle of a populated area. And this happened yesterday, and I'm still very upset. And I want to share this because these videos are so horrible. If they're all real and they don't have actors, like, how could you do that to someone in a populated area for views? Everyone was staring. No one knew that it was a prank. Everyone was looking at me like I was some kind of whore. And it was horrible. And I just wanted to get out of there so bad. And I ran basically to where my friends were waiting, and my matron of honor was like, oh my God, what happened? And I told them. And Brent and my matron of honor, went back to this guy, and dragged him over and forced him to apologize to me. And I was like, how could you do that in a crowded area to a stranger that you don't know? I don't know it's a joke. No one else in this area knows it's a joke. And you're gonna put that on YouTube? Of you going up to some random girl and just shouting that she's cheating on you? Like, that's horrible. That's not a prank. That's not a joke. That's not funny. He didn't know anything about me. He didn't know anything about my relationship. What if I had been a girl who was in an abusive relationship? Like, I'm not, thank God. Brent knew instantly that this guy was just a gigantic asshole, and there was no questioning, there was no doubt. But like, what if I had been in the type of relationship that could have got me killed? Like, this guy, all he cared about, all he knew was that 5 seconds. And anybody who watches those videos, it's just over. You don't see the consequences. You don't see the person shaking and crying and being upset and unable to breathe because they have such bad anxiety. And it was just the worst. So I just wanted to share this, because how else are people going to stop watching something and stop supporting something so cruel unless you share how you feel? So that's that. Sorry this isn't a happy video game video. I hated it. And I wanted to share it because it was really upsetting. And like, I don't know how else to word it. Like, how else do you word it so people don't just say, oh, it was just a joke, you're taking it too seriously? Like, no, it wasn't. I didn't know it was a joke. All I knew was some guy was screaming over me every time I tried to speak. Every time I tried to say something. Like I didn't matter. Like I was just something there for him to use to make his channel blow up so that he could have his 5 minutes of fame. He was going to use me and humiliate me, some person he doesn't know, in the middle of a crowded area outside of a movie theater. And I don't even know if he's not going to post it. Obviously, if he does, I can report it and have it taken down, because he most certainly does not have my permission to use me in his video. But like, I was so upset and I couldn't breathe. I would have normally screamed in any other situation, but the past couple weeks, my anxiety has just been worse than I think it's ever been. And I don't even have asthma anymore. So it took me a hot minute to realize that what I was experiencing was asthma symptoms. So that's that. I have felt a wide variety of emotions, from anger to upset to just being humiliated. There is no other word. It was humiliating. There was no way to come back from that. Everyone, even after the guy shouted cut, like people were still staring, like who's doing this? Like, you know? And I just wanted so bad to get out of there. It was so horrible. It was horrific, just mortifying. I wanted to die. I wanted to crawl into a hole and leave so no one would ever see me. I didn't even want to go see a movie anymore, although it helped because horror movies and stuff oddly makes me feel better when I'm stressed and anxiety riddled. So it was a good idea to go see It too, which by the way was quite good. So yeah, so that's that video. I don't support prank videos. I think they're horrible, especially if they're real. If you have paid actors, fantastic. That's funny because you know what? No one gets hurt when there's paid actors. No one gets hurt. But if you're actually approaching random people on the street and hurting them, like, that's just fucked up. And I don't support that.